It's Wednesday night, and that can only mean two things. AEW Dynamite and Tony Khan signing another WWE reject. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We're here to review the AEW Dynamite from 26th of April 2023. And honestly, man, before we get into the debut of the former WWE guy who never even had a run on the main roster, and if he did, I can't fucking remember it, so it must have been very forgettable. But this show is abysmal, and I'm sitting here wondering, like, why the hell am I even talking about this show? Why am I reviewing this show? And I am so tempted to stop reviewing AEW. So, guys, let me know. Does anybody care for AEW reviews? Because if you don't, then I certainly don't care enough to watch these and talk about these. I mean, these shows are fucking abysmal, and having to get through this, it's painful. I thought watching WWE was bad, but no, AEW, it's like torture, man. It is. Tony Khan, he's a sadism. He should go to jail. It should be illegal to make us watch this shit. Anyway, we kick off AEW Dynamite. Before we actually talk about the start of the show, let's talk about the debut of Roderick Strong. How can you be called Roderick Strong but look like a fucking toothpick? It doesn't make any sense. He comes in, he hits a bunch of fake, phony offense on Jericho's cronies, and you talk about big debuts where someone comes in and they look strong, pun intended. This guy looked weak. All his moves looked shit. The crowd were silent. You may as well call this guy Roderick Weak, or as I'll call him, Roderick Pish, because he is garbage and he doesn't even deserve a spot on any roster, whether it be WWE. I mean, TNA wouldn't even sign this guy, for fuck's sake, and people were, going crazy about the return of the Undisputed Era. Nobody cared about Undisputed Era. It was a fucking phony jobber indie faction on the black and gold version of NXT, and that's where it should have stayed, to be honest. Anyway, we'll talk more about Roderick Strong when we get there at the end of the night. We get the opening match, AEW International Championship. This title is worthless. It doesn't matter how many times Orange Cassidy defends this belt. I think this was titled Defense 20. I mean, he can defend this thing 200 times. The belt doesn't mean shit, and Orange Cassidy doesn't mean shit. He takes on some guy, Bandido. I don't even know if Bandido is an AEW wrestler. I've never seen this guy before. He literally just appeared out of nowhere, and he faced Orange Cassidy. And they have a 50-50 match, and they're trying to pretend as if they don't know who's going to win. I tell you who's going to win. It's going to be the guy that AEW have actually been pushing non-stop for the last 3 years. Funnily enough, it's not going to be the guy that is literally just turned up and no one's ever heard of. So, yeah, Cassidy beats Bandido. Again, who the fuck is Bandido? Cassidy gets thrown up into the air. He's coming down. Apparently, he hits an orange punch in mid-air. Now, I didn't see it. I just heard it. It looked more like a fucking headbutt, but, I mean, whatever. I don't really care. And then he hits the beach break and he picks up the win. After the match, Orange Cassidy shakes hands. Bandido puts the belt on Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy puts sunglasses on Bandido. And Taz says, how can you put sunglasses on a guy that has no ears? And he's like, oh wait, he does have ears. And I mean, I'm sitting here looking for any opportunity to turn this shit off. I really am. But yeah, winner and still AEW champion, Orange Cassidy. We then go to Adam Cole. He's backstage with Renee Young or Renee Paquette. Give me fucking Renee Dupree. I mean, honestly, I cannot stand Renee Young / Paquette. She thinks she is somebody because she's married to John Moxley and she got an announcing gig on Raw. Look, face it, you're fucking blonde and you're a woman. Anybody could have got that announcing gimmick on Raw. It's because you're a non-wrestler. They wanted to try something different, so they stuck you on commentary. I mean, you're not the best female announcer to ever be in the business. I mean, you're not the hottest looking fucking female to ever be in the business. You're just bland as fuck, and honestly, if she wasn't married to John Moxley, she would be a nobody. So, yeah, she can pretend she's the greatest thing ever. Speaking of the greatest thing ever, that's certainly not Adam Cole. He said he's going to call it Chris Jericho tonight. And if he doesn't come to the ring, he's going to go and find him. So, yeah, I mean, who cares? Honestly, who cares? And then Orange Cassidy and Bandido show up together backstage. But let's not talk about that. Let's move on. We also had Darby and Jungle Boy speak to each other, saying how things have moved too far. But I mean, yeah, that's too far. This show sucks. Up next, we have match number 2, Dax Harwood versus Jeff Jarrett. I'm actually going to go out and say that I think he might be the most overrated wrestler in wrestling today. Dax fucking Harwood. This guy is a jabron. You look at, he's just your average height, flabby fat, bald headed, stupid looking mustache. Nothing about this. He looks like he belongs in the 80s, but wrestles like he belongs in 2023. If this guy had an extra like foot to him, he would look like an 80s fucking jobber that comes in and loses in like 30 seconds to the face. But no, this guy's supposed to be one of the best wrestlers, and the best wrestler, my ass. Fuck the Revival, yeah, you're damn right, FTR, they suck. Get them out of here. And this guy, this guy's a fucking crybaby. No wonder his hero's Bret Hart, man. Honest to God. 4 out of 10. I wouldn't even give this guy 1 out of 10. Absolutely sucks. Jeff Jarrett beats him with a stroke. I almost had a stroke watching this guy, man. He absolutely sucks. Cannot stand Dax Harwood. Jeff Jarrett picks up the win. And what's with Sonjay Dutt and this whole pencil gimmick? I know he's been doing it for a while now, but who cares? He comes out with a pencil in his ear, and does that make him The Rock? No, it just makes you a fucking bum with a pencil in your ear. Honest to God, man, this show sucks. Up next, we had Wardlow. Wardlow, he takes on some guy who didn't even have a fucking name. I mean, he wins in about 10 seconds. What the hell is... Haven't they done this shit already? Haven't they done the whole Wardlow trying to steal Goldberg's streak and he just runs through everybody in like 15, 20 seconds? Wasn't that Wardlow? Isn't that Wardlow 2021? Why are they doing this again? Like, what the fuck are they... What's happening here? Why... Wardlow's already had the belt, lost the belt, won it back. Why are they doing this shit where he's just running through enhancement talent with no names? I don't get what they're doing here. Wardlow sucks, but he wins. Arn Anderson then says he's been in the business for 40 years or whatever. And then he talks about how there's one thing that Wardlow needs to do. He needs to start biting ears off and gouging eyes out. Well, if he's going to start gouging eyes out, can he start with fucking mine? Then I would need to watch this. Honest to God, what is Arn Anderson doing with this cookie cutter bullshit? Trying to be a tough man, talking about Wardlow biting fucking ears. No one's buying this shit. Just a big roided up jabron who's beating even bigger jabrons in 10 seconds. I mean, this shit is garbage. Absolute garbage. Christian Cage comes out with Luchasaurus. They have a look at Wardlow, and then they walk back up the ramp. Like, I mean, come on, the fuck. Oh, man. Why can't Christian Cage be the world champ? Honestly, why can't Christian Cage be the face of this company? As a heel. Yeah, be the face of the company, but as a heel. Why can't that be the case? Why can't Christian be a top guy? Instead... He walks around with some guy who thinks he's a fucking dinosaur. This is a trans dinosaur. I mean, what is happening here? Why is this company so bad? I mean, they've actually got some, decent names in terms of like ex-WWE guys, and I don't mean all these new bums like Roderick Strong. I mean actual people that done stuff in WWE, people that were around when WWE was in its best eras, the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. They have people like that. They've got a WCW icon in Sting, yet we don't get any of that shit. We just get garbage, the homegrown garbage. I mean, technically, we don't even get their homegrown garbage because they brought in so many rejects from WWE in over the years. Your NXT crowd that could never make it, so they just got released. And then Tony Khan was like, here's a paycheck, I'll sign you right up. But no, this is hard to watch this. Then, apparently, MJF says that he will pay Sammy to lay down at Double or Nothing if he makes it to the match. So, whatever. There's a 4 Pillars tournament final. Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. I thought the 4 Pillars was MJF, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Jungle Boy. Now, have I been mistaken here? How's this a final? Who did these two beat to get to the final? And if MJF's one of the 4 Pillars, then why did he lose in the semis? Or why is he not in this tournament? Who the fuck's the other pillar? Now, I know I've bashed them about this a while ago because pillars are strong and none of these guys are. Pillars hold things up and I mean, these guys couldn't hold up a fucking piece of paper, but, I mean, come on. I don't understand what's happening here, guys. AEW, this show sucks. We get Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara hits a cutter on the outside. Darby Allin slides to the outside. Guevara hits a cutter. Does that finish the match? No. Guevara then gets Darby Allin on a table, sits him on the outside, lays him on the table, goes into the ring, climbs the top rope, hits like, I don't know how many times he spins in there. This wasn't a 360, this was more like a 720, or maybe even a, what comes next after that, a 180, a 1080. This was mad. He did so many spins in there, then comes crashing down on Darby Allin. And is this enough to put away Darby Allin? No. Darby Allin within 20 seconds is up, jumping about, springing to the top rope, and it's like, selling is completely gone. I mean, this move should have been enough to kill not only Darby Allin, but also take out Sammy Guevara. Yet, 20 seconds later, both men are jumping about in the ring again. Like, literally, what is the point? And then when they do get the finish of the match, it's a DQ. It's a fucking DQ. After these two mad moves that Sammy Guevara hit, Darby Allin loses the match to a DQ. What the fuck is this shit? Honestly, why not lose to the move that could have fucking killed you both? No, we're going to lose to a stupid DQ, Eddie Guerrero, lie, cheating and stealing gimmick. And honestly, man, this is embarrassing. Didn't Chavo Guerrero just come out at the start? It's almost like they've just done this because Chavo Guerrero came out and said he's sick of people leeching off the Guerrero name. And then we get the Dynamite and they just completely steal the whole lie, cheating, and I'm going to pretend you hit me with a steel chair and lie down gimmick. I mean, what is this shit? I mean, what the fuck is this shit? I mean, I guess Chavo's given them their approval since he was only kidding with that tweet, apparently. But, I mean, this is garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. I wish Eddie Guerrero was on this show. I wish Rey Mysterio... Hell, I'd even take Chavo Guerrero. Oh, Chavo. I'd take him. I'd take him. Do we get him? No, we don't. Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara. MJF comes down, celebrates. MJF, it's going to be MJF and Sammy Guevara at Double or Nothing. And then Shivani steps up. He calls MJF a prick. And he says he was speaking to Tony Khan. So Tony Khan will turn up all the time to make these major announcements that aren't major at all. But yet he actually has a pretty major announcement here. And he doesn't appear. It's fucking Tony Schiavone stepping up for the commentary desk. So he says he was speaking to Tony Khan, I guess through the headset. And Tony Khan has announced next week it's going to be a tag team match. Darby Allin and Jungle Boy taking on Sammy Guevara and MJF. And if Darby Allin and Jungle Boy win, they get added to the title match. And it'll be a fatal four-way at Double or Nothing. So predictable. I think the writing's been on the wall that they were going to do a fatal... I mean, I thought it was a fatal four-way months ago. So, I guess they hadn't booked it yet, but I was convinced. So, maybe they must do a shit job of storytelling, because I actually thought it was going to be a fatal four-way. But it's going to be a fatal four-way now, when they win the tag match next week. But still, honestly, man, this is garbage. This is why wrestling needs authority figures. We need somebody to come out and actually make these announcements. Tony Schiavone just isn't doing it. Even on Raw, Adam Pearce just isn't doing it. We need general managers, for fuck's sake. Triple H is worried about getting a world title on Raw for the draft. How about you get two general managers that can actually draft people to their rosters? Like, why would we care? Unless there's a manager, right? Unless there's a general manager that runs Raw or runs SmackDown, then why would Adam Pearce care about the draft? Why does Adam Pearce... And I know this is an AEW review, but why would Adam Pearce give a shit if SmackDown did better than Raw in the draft? He doesn't have any sort of advantages. He doesn't have any sort of more. He doesn't have any more responsibilities towards SmackDown as he does Raw. It's garbage. We need to get GMs back in WWE, but unfortunately, let's go back to AEW since this is an AEW review. Okay, so Adam Cole comes out next. He says he's calling out Jericho. He says him beating him down was one thing, but orchestrating the attack on his girlfriend Brett, that's too far. Adam Cole wants Jericho to come to the ring. He says that he's going to hurt Jericho. He says he's going to beat him to within an inch of his life. And does anybody really believe this? Like, why do they fucking carry out empty threats like this? I'm going to beat you to within an inch of your... Oh, really? Oh, really, Adam Cole? Oh, really, fucking toothpick Cole? I mean, you couldn't beat sleep. I mean, look at him. This guy couldn't fucking eat a hamburger. He's not going to beat Chris Jericho. He's not going to, kick Chris Jericho's ass to within an inch of its life. No chance. So he's standing there. Jericho appears in the Titan throne. Jericho's like, well, you know what? You're a coward. How many times have we heard that word in wrestling lately, by the way? Coward. Coward, coward, coward. Jericho doesn't associate with cowards. He doesn't want to be anywhere near Adam Cole. But his guys will be. And then Jericho's 4 guys for the appreciation walkout. And it's going to be a 4-on-1 beatdown. But if I was Jericho's guys, I would be careful getting in the ring. Because apparently Adam Cole is going to beat somebody to within an inch of their life. Is he? No. Within 2 seconds, he's down. Getting his ass kicked. So much for I'm going to beat you to within an inch of your life. The only person coming to within an inch of their life is the people having to watch this shit at home. Probably contemplating suicide. That's the people coming to within an inch of their life. So then we get Cassidy and Bandido come down. Why is this Bandido guy making a save? I don't know. But it's 4-on-3, and obviously it's not enough. The numbers are still against the good guys. I mean, I'm calling them good guys, and I'm really using that term loosely because there's nothing good about these people. But for argument's sake, since they are playing the baby faces, we'll call them the good guys here. And then, I'll give it credit. Killswitch Engage starts playing. End of Heartache, which is a good song. I believe it is the official theme song for Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse as well, the movie. So that theme song starts playing, and you're like, oh, wow, okay. What's this? I'm assuming it's somebody coming out. I'm assuming it's a debut. And then after about 5 seconds, the letters, the 2 words appear on the Titantron, Roderick Strong, and then you're like, oh my god. If you're unfortunate, the only fortunate people here are probably the people that couldn't remember who it was. If you can remember who Roderick Strong was, you're thinking, oh my god. And then he runs out, looking just as skinny as Adam Cole, looking like an absolute toothpick, looking like an anorexic fucking kid from Africa, runs into the ring and hits like the worst offense you'll ever see. And he's wiping out 4 guys. He's hitting this move on Jack Swagger, and this guy is like half the size of Jack Swagger. The selling's awful. He's hitting these phony strikes. I mean, these strikes wouldn't knock out a 2-year-old yet. Jericho's crew is having to sell as if they're getting punched by Mike Tyson. It's unbelievable. And then Roderick Strong helps up Adam Cole after he takes care. So this is, I don't get. It's like, Roderick Strong, who's a fucking bum. We don't know who the guy is. Roderick Bum Strong comes out and he beats up with ease the 4 members of the Jericho Appreciation Society. But 5 minutes ago, Adam Cole was ready to kill someone. He was ready to beat someone within an inch of their life, yet he got completely battered within 5 seconds. What sense does that make? So the guy that wants to kill somebody, could he just seen his girlfriend get beat up last week? He gets beat up in 2 minutes, 2 seconds. He's done. But the guy that doesn't have any sort of, any sort of like reason to be here just comes out and batters 4 men. Honestly, like, make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then they share a hug, and Cole and Strong stand in the ring, and they shake hands, and they're hugging each other, and I guess we're getting the Undisputed Era minus Bobby Fish on AEW. And apparently this was a great moment. Why? Because 2 guys from NXT Black and Gold stood in the ring. 2 guys that, look about 5'5", weigh about 120 pounds, hugged each other in the ring. That's supposed to be a great moment. Honestly, there was nothing great about that. This was fucking garbage, absolute garbage. Then we go backstage. We see Jay White and Juice Robinson. Apparently they're called the Bang Bang Gang. Who gives a shit what you call them? They're both crap. You know what I mean? They could have called them the greatest thing ever. Could have called them the New World Order. Could have called them Evolution. I'm just going to continue to call them shit. We also got Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker saying the only way this is going to finish between them and the Outcasts is when someone gets sent to the morgue. So again, more fake promises. Nobody's going to the morgue. Nobody's died. Well, considering how bad these wrestlers are, someone might actually die. But, why do they say this shit? Why are they trying to act tough and talk about killing people and sending people to the morgue when nothing justifies that? you're in a rivalry with somebody. It's not like they've tried to kill you. I mean, if anything, the Blackpool Combat Club sticking screwdrivers in people's heads, that's more Morgue-like mentality than this crap. But yeah, well, I don't get it. Adam Cole talking about beating people within an inch of his life. Britt Baker saying the only way this ends is with someone turning up to the morgue. It's like, right, okay, whatever. Then we go into the main event. It is Kenny Omega and Take a Shitter versus Butcher and the Blade. I wonder who's going to win this match, guys, honestly. The team with Kenny Omega in it, or with the team with the guys that constantly job out every single fucking show. Kenny Omega and Take a Shitter win. So yeah, there you go. It is what it is. Take a Shitter, Kenny Omega, both win. Daniel Bryan comes out. He botches. He says that Take a Shitter should join the Elite. Then he's like, no, you should join the Blackpool Combat Club, because he says that look at the people that train under the Elite, like Brandon Cutler and that Japanese dude. Then he says look at the people that train under the Blackpool Combat Club, and he names Wheeler Yuta. I mean, if you're using Wheeler Yuta for a reference as to how good somebody is, then honestly, you're not convincing me to join. Then I don't get this. So the Blackpool Combat Club come out and they start beating up Kenny Omega in the ring. They Take a Shitter, gets pushed to the outside. So they're beating up Kenny Omega in the ring. And then the Young Bucks music plays, right? And Cesaro decides to isolate himself from the ring. He runs all the way up to the top of the ramp where he gets taken out with a double super kick. And then after that, then Wheeler Yuta runs up and he gets a double super kick. And then the Young Bucks get to the ring and it's left with the Young Bucks and Omega with a 3-on-1 advantage against Moxley. Why would you do that? If you're beaten down, and for some reason Daniel Bryan didn't get in the ring, so maybe he's still injured, I don't know. But if you've got a 3-on-1 advantage, why would you just throw that away? Why would Cesaro leave the ring where you've got like upper ground? You've got the advantage being in the ring because you can attack somebody when they slide underneath the ropes. Why would Cesaro leave this 3-on-1 advantage to run up the top of the ramp and get his ass whipped by two people, and then Wheeler Yuta to do the exact same? Now you can say I'm looking too much into it, but no, this is fucking retarded. This does not make any sense. It just does not. Why would you leave the advantage numbers to go and give yourself a disadvantage and be outnumbered? Doesn't make any sense. Kenny Omega then grabs a screwdriver. Daniel Bryan gets Take a Shitter to stop Kenny Omega. Take a Shitter's pleading with Omega not to use the screwdriver. Then the Blackpool Combat Club attack these guys from behind. They tell Shita that he needs to join them. Shita doesn't want to join them. So then they get Shita and they hit him with a screwdriver, and a wee tiny bit of blood trickles out of Shita's head. And then Kenny Omega gets back in the ring and he hugs. He hugs Take a Shitter because he's upset that Take a Shitter has been cut with the screwdriver. And there you go, guys. That is it. That is your AEW show. That's your fucking whack. Or wait, did I miss a match? Wait, I did miss a match. So yeah, hold on. Jade Cargill. How could I forget about that? 56-0. 56-0. I'd like to think it would mean something, but we all know as soon as she goes to the main roster part where the women fight for the world title, she'll just be another chick on the roster. I think tongue twister. I think Jade Cargill would actually do good in WWE, because I think they would appreciate a woman of that size. And you look at WWE now, they just tend to be into these like bigger women for whatever reason. I don't understand, because from an attractive standpoint, I've always found like the smaller women, the more petite women, hotter. But WWE now, they seem to be going through this phase where they don't want you to look hot, they just want you to look big and masculine. And if you can pull that off, like Rhea Ripley or like Raquel Rodriguez, any of those women, then you've got a good chance of being successful. But guys, that's it. Look, I'm giving this a 0 out of 10. The show absolutely sucked. I'm not going to sit here and say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed absolutely nothing about this AEW. So there you go, guys. 0 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down below and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.